Some would describe this as a thriller. How would you describe this story?
It's really, I would say you're lucky enough, if you go see this movie, you're lucky enough to get a double feature because it's really two interesting storylines in and of themselves woven together effortlessly. Tom's able to take two complicated stories and two entirely different worlds in the most drastic sense that I could probably think of and weave them together in one sort of cohesive story. It's very cool. It's very well done.
Talk to us a little bit about your character and, of course, his relationship with Amy or Susan.
Yeah, I play Amy Adams' husband in the movie, and they basically start their relationship under really sort of fun, hot, and heavy intentions, and then it just sort of becomes one of those that we all have seen, loveless marriages, where they just become different people. They don't relate to each other, they don't understand each other, but they're there and they're stuck, and neither of them can walk away, and they're just dealing with this. Yeah, I guess that's...
How was it? I mean, because you and Amy you don't have a ton of interaction in the movie, but when you do, I mean, you can still tell that there's a bond there, but that there is so much sort of distance between them. How did you two sort of create that relationship?
There was a lot of conversations in the beginning in terms of how these two people who have been in this relationship and what it has done to each of them, how each of them processed and deal with it. My character went off and had other affairs and all that, and her character just leapt headfirst into work and art and all that, and both dealt with it in very different ways. Similarly, but very differently to the way that Amy and Jake's characters dealt with their relationship and the dissolving of their relationship in very different ways.
Right. Talk to me about working with Tom Ford on this film. I mean, it's visually beautiful, but then the story is so, like you said, the two stories intertwine so beautifully as well.
Yeah, he's a master of many crafts. He's not one of those, what do I say, jack of all trades, master of none. Mm-hmm. He's a master of all trades and a jacks of none. Like, he can do anything, whether it be build 3 separate huge fashion empires or 2 completely separate different movies that each feel like they were directed by a different person, which is really only a testament to what he's able to do and achieve as a director.
And I mean, visually, is because you guys look impeccable in these characters. I mean, they're dressed perfectly, the house is perfectly done. What does that say about his eye for detail?
Oh, his eye for detail is unlike anything I've ever seen. He'll scan a room and immediately 2 seconds later go, fix that, move his bow tie, move this, change that tie to another tie, switch his jacket, move that art, do this and blah, 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 blah. And it's the same thing I can only imagine that when he's sort of like backstage at his catwalk thing, what do you call it? Like a fashion show.
Yeah, right.
Where he's at like a fashion show and he's back there with the models going, okay, switch this, move that to this, move this, wear this, you wear that, blah, 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 blah. And it's what makes Tom Ford, ultimately.
Was this the best dressed character you've ever played?
Yeah, I literally wore head to toe Tom Ford the entire movie.
Not a bad perk to it.
Not bad.
And then my last question for you. I left this film feeling like a variety of different emotions. What do you think?
You're welcome.
After the audience sees it, will sort of take away. What are the themes you think that they'll connect with?
I think that there's not a single person out there who's been through what felt like a really bad breakup, or maybe feels like they're in a relationship like they shouldn't be in, or something like that. I also think that everybody has repressed emotions that they may have or maybe haven't dealt with, and you see 2 characters deal with that. Centrally in the movie, Amy and Jake's characters deal with it in very different ways, to very different outcomes.